This is how to lose 4 kilograms of fat in just 4 weeks and get shredded for summer. So I've trained over 100 men over the past few years, helping them to lose over 1,000 kilograms of fat. In January this year, I also made a huge transformation where I lost 10 kilograms of body fat in just 3 months. And the first 4 weeks alone, I was able to lose 4 kilograms. So how did I do this? Well, I followed a specific plan with training and nutrition that I'm going to be talking about in this video. I'm going to go over the exact steps and protocols that I used to help me look like this in just 3 months. Guys, if you also follow this system, I guarantee you'll drop fat instantly and look the best you've ever looked for summer. So let's get into it. Now, before we get started, I'm going to go over the main driver for fat loss, which is calories. Now, calories are basically just a unit of energy. So your maintenance calories are the calories you require to maintain your body weight every single day. So basically just eating the same amount of calories as you burn. A calorie deficit is consuming less calories than you burn, which leads to weight loss. And a calorie surplus is consuming more calories than you burn, which leads to weight gain. Now, you can do everything in the world. You can train hard, you can do cardio all day long, you can cut out sugar, cut out carbs, cut out fats. But if you are still eating in a calorie surplus, then ultimately you're not going to lose body fat. You need to be in a calorie deficit. So everything that I'm about to go through with you today will make your fat loss journey a lot more effective, but ultimately you will still have to be in a calorie deficit if you want to lose body fat. So firstly, let's talk about nutrition. Now, I know it sounds boring, but you want to be eating the same foods every single day. Now, this is going to take away decision fatigue, and that is the energy wasted on planning and thinking about what foods to eat on a daily basis. You want to try and preserve as much energy as you can, because that way you can put more time and energy into your work and into your workouts. You want to have a set plan. You want to know exactly what foods you're going to eat the next day and the next week. It just makes life a whole lot easier for you. Because here's the thing, most people don't actually reach their goals and lose fat because they spend so much time thinking about what to eat, planning what to eat, and half the time they have no idea. So they end up ordering out or eating out and consuming things that they shouldn't be consuming. And that way the calorie deficit is wiped out and they end up being in a calorie surplus and not losing the body fat. Now, you don't want to do this. You want to have a set plan of what you're going to eat every single day. So that way you don't veer off track. And by eating the same foods every day, you know how many calories you're going to eat every day. So you don't need to track your calories. You just have the same foods. This takes away any energy required to track calories, to plan, to think about what foods to eat, and it just makes your life a whole lot easier, and it's going to be easier for you to reach that goal and lose body fat. So now let's talk about caloric intake. So you want to be eating 500 calories below your maintenance every single day, and you can use my calorie calculator in the description below to figure out your maintenance calories. Substitute 500 from that number and stick to those calories on a daily basis. Now, regarding macros, for protein, you want to be consuming 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. So take your body weight in kg, then times that by 2.2, and that's how much protein you should be eating. Now, for fats, it should be in the range of 40 to 60 grams per day for optimal hormonal health and brain function. And the rest can be delicious carbs. Because having a higher carb and lower fat diet is going to help you feel more satiated, and it's going to give you more energy throughout your day. And you're going to need as much energy as you can get because you're going to be in a calorie deficit. So now, how many meals should you eat and what time should you eat those meals? Well, I would say to have anywhere between 3 to 5 meals a day, depending on your preference, and spread out those meals every 2 to 5 hours. For example, if you were to only have 3 meals during the day, and let's say you wake up at 8 a.m., then I would suggest to eat at 9 a.m., then again at 1 p.m., and then again at 6 p.m. Now, if you were to eat more meals, then you can spread out your meals a little bit more efficiently throughout the rest of your day, so eat every 3 to 4 hours. Now, when it comes to losing the fat and preserving as much muscle mass as possible, you want to have high protein in each meal. So to make your life easier, what I would do is take the amount of protein you need every single day and then divide that by the number of meals you eat on a daily basis, and have that amount of protein in each meal. That way you're getting a consistent amount of protein in each meal, and it makes your life a whole lot easier because you don't have to track it. Remember, there are 5 opportunities for muscle protein synthesis throughout the day, so you want to try and optimize those 5 opportunities so you can preserve as much muscle mass as possible while losing the weight. And to do this, you're going to need sufficient protein in each meal. Now, for carbs, I would suggest to have majority of your carbs pre and post workout for optimal recovery. and also to avoid eating 2 to 3 hours before bed so you can have a proper night's sleep, and that way you won't have any digestive issues during the night. So now I'm going to give you a list of foods to eat for protein, carbs and fats. So let's start with proteins for non-vegetarians. So I would suggest to have lean protein. For example, tuna, chicken, lean beef, white fish, turkey, Greek yogurt, egg whites and protein powder. Now for vegetarians, you can have beans, lentils, peas, Greek yogurt, eggs, tofu and protein powder. Now moving on to carbs, stick to these carbs, which are oats, rice and potatoes. You can also have some fruits and veg, but I wouldn't recommend to overload them. Now moving on to fats, which would be eggs, salmon, butter and avocado. So stick to this list of foods for the next 4 weeks. Very simple, very basic whole foods that's going to help you lose 4 kilograms of body fat. So next, these are the things to cut out of your diet completely. So we have processed food or junk food, starchy carbs such as bread, supplements apart from whey protein and creatine, dairy apart from Greek yogurt and butter. You also want to cut out unnatural sugars such as honey and processed sugar like white sugar, alcohol and eating out. So basically all the foods that aren't going to serve you towards your goal. Now let's move on to training and steps. So you want to weight train anywhere between 3 to 6 times a week, depending on your schedule and how busy you are. If you're training on the lower end, which is 3 times a week, then you want to be doing more full body or upper lower body splits, so you can hit each muscle group at least twice a week. Now, if you're training on the higher side, then a push-pull leg split would be more ideal. So for your steps, stick to 10,000, 12,000 steps a day on average, because this is going to help increase the calories burnt from NEAT, which is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and this makes up majority of the calories burnt throughout the day. So for cardio, I would recommend to do 30 minutes of steady state zone 2 cardio every single day. So this can be things like incline walking, cycling, rowing, anything that's not going to be super aggressive and super taxing on the body, but something that's a little bit intense, but you can still keep up for around 1 to 2 hours if you need to. But I would just suggest to do 30 minutes every single day, which will help you burn more calories. Finally, here are 6 more principles to follow to lose that 4 kilograms of body fat and get shredded for summer. So firstly, do not lift super heavy. Lift in the 10 to 15 rep range with good form and control. This is going to help you avoid injury while being in a calorie deficit. Because remember, while you're in a calorie deficit, your body just doesn't have the energy and the nutrients it requires to be able to lift super heavy. So you're more likely to get injured. And while you're trying to lose fat, you want to do anything and everything to reduce the risk of injury. So that's why I suggest to lift a little bit lighter in a higher rep range, just to avoid injury and so you can keep progressing with your fat loss journey. So next is to focus on compound movements rather than isolation movements, and that way you can benefit from training multiple muscle groups at once. Also, it will help you be more efficient with your time, and it'll help you preserve more muscle mass. So here's the thing, you don't want to be training for 2 to 3 hours while you're in a calorie deficit, because you're not going to have the energy to do so, and you're going to be overtraining. You really want to be in and out within an hour, and that's why I say to focus more on compound lifts rather than isolation, because you'll get more bang for your buck. Number 3 is do not train fasted, and that's because your body won't have the nutrients it requires. You'll be training on an empty stomach, and therefore you won't be able to push as hard and preserve as much muscle mass as you can. Also, your energy will just be low, so there'll probably be a lack of focus, and if you don't focus for a specific lift or an exercise, then this can lead to an injury. So again, remove anything that would lead to an injury. You want to avoid injury at all costs. So make sure you train with some food in your stomach. Next is drink 3+ liters of water a day. Now again, this is going to help you feel more satiated. That way it keeps you away from binge eating and going over your calories. Also, you need to stay hydrated, especially if you want to preserve muscle mass. Your muscles need to stay hydrated, so drink 3+ liters of water a day. Get 7 to 8 hours sleep per night. Now, while you're in a calorie deficit, you want to be optimizing your recovery as much as possible, because you're going to need to. And that's why 7 to 8 hours sleep per night will be optimal. Then that way you won't feel hungry throughout the rest of your day, and you'll be able to recover faster for your next session. And finally is to move as much as you can. For example, if you go to the supermarket, then park further away, so that way you can get more steps in and you can burn more calories. Or if you live in an apartment on a high floor, then instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs. And that way, again, you can burn more calories throughout the day which in turn will help you to lose that 4 kilograms of body fat. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and if you follow this strategy down to a T, I guarantee you'll see instant changes in your fat loss and you'll drop that 4 kilograms in 4 weeks, helping you to get shredded for summer. And guys, if you are really struggling with losing fat and you have no idea on how to get started, then click the link in the description below and download my free ebooks. They're completely free and they'll help you out a ton. And if you want to work with me one-to-one, where I'll keep you accountable every single day and fast track your progress towards your fat loss goals, then click the link in the description below, book a call with me, and we'll see if you're a good fit for the program. Guys, if you found this video useful and helpful, then do me a favor and smash the like button. And if you're new to the channel and you like my content, then do me another favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications. And if you want to watch the secret fat loss calorie formula, then I recommend watching this video next. And remember, stay natty, stay clean, and peace.